We're back for our daily MLB Best Bets here on the channel for Tuesday, July 1st. We've got all 30 teams today playing for Major League Baseball, and of course we have our 5 best bets for this slate, starting things off with the Canada Day special between the New York Yankees and the Toronto Blue Jays all through the nightcap. We've got another best bet for the D-backs and Giants to close out the video. So before we get into the video, folks, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below for some more daily MLB best bets here on the channel. This week on Greedo Plays MMA, our PFL Europe predictions. Patrick Habaroa and Danny Roberts in the main event over there with the Professional Fighters League, and also with PFL Mania, we've got our full card predictions for both of those PFL cards. Again, linked in the description down below. Go check those out if you have not yet. We are 50 subscribers away from 1,000 on Greedo Plays MMA. Let's go make that happen over there. We're gonna have additional content on Greedo Plays MMA once we hit 1,000, so make sure to get that done. Again, hit that subscribe button down below for this channel and Greedo Plays MMA while you're at it. Okay, on to the first of our 5 best bets today for the MLB. Again, I said earlier we will have a Canada Day bet, and here it is. On Canada Day, I'm going Toronto Blue Jays money line. I know what you're thinking. The Blue Jays have been historically really bad on Canada Day. This year's different, okay? Why is it different? Because Kevin Gausman is going to put on a pitching masterclass today, all right? Gausman's last start, he was phenomenal. By far his best start of the entire season. This is a guy who had a rough April, was really good in the month of May, and then struggled in June until he goes to Cleveland, who I understand has been a team that has been struggling at the plate recently, but he goes to Cleveland, pitches 8 shutout innings against the Guardians. I'll take that. Gives up 2 hits in 8 innings, and he has his work cut out for him, don't get me wrong, against the New York Yankees. But yesterday, a victory for the Blue Jays in Toronto, right? The Jays win 5-4, and I think honestly, the Yankees are always just overvalued. I'm just gonna be honest. I feel like they are an overvalued team. They're good, don't get me wrong. They have one of the best lineups in baseball. They're 12 games over. Well, the Jays are 8 games over. The entire American League East is a really good division other than the Baltimore Orioles and I guess the Red Sox just But really, Yankees, Rays, Jays, they're all just right there. And the Jays legitimately are right there with the Yankees. They're 2 games back of the lead in the American League East. This is a Blue Jays team that yesterday wins 5-4. They've got guys in the lineup, right? You got, again, with the injury to George Springer, we'll see if he plays today, but still, probably not. But you still got, again, you got Ernie Clement. You've got Andres Jimenez, who likely comes off the bench. You get, obviously, Vladimir Guerrero, who they just paid in the offseason. Bo Bichette, I believe, is going to be out this game. He got ruled out yesterday right before the game due to a knee injury. I don't know if he's going to play today on Canada Day, but it's fine. There are still guys in the Jays lineup that I don't mind. Again, Barger's been in the ball right this year. Miles Straw hasn't been bad. And again, the primary reason we're going with the Jays, well, it's 2 reasons. It is Canada Day, and I think they got to come through eventually with the red jerseys on. And again, Gausman's going. I know Max Fried's pitching for the Yankees. I completely understand that. Guys, I'm treating this game like we treated Giants and Diamondbacks yesterday, okay? We took the Diamondbacks yesterday 100% knowing that Logan Webb was going for the Giants. And I knew that, and I was still like, all right, I just need the D-backs to put up a couple runs on Gausman, on Logan Webb, and I think they're going to be all right. Obviously, different scenario here because the Yankees don't have a stagnant offense like the San Francisco Giants have. I completely understand that. However, look at the last couple games Fried's pitched. He's been good, but they have not gotten him run support. Well, the Reds game they did, but the 2 losses that he took prior to pitching against Cincinnati, against the Baltimore Orioles, Fried goes 6 innings, 7 hits, 3 runs. I'm so serious. That's the exact type of game I think the Jays are going to have against Fried. It's Canada Day. They're at home. It's a day game. Team's going to be pumped up. Crowd's going to be going. I don't know much about Canada Day, but if I'm not mistaken, I don't know, again, if the reason they have Canada Day is like how we have the 4th of July here in the States. But I believe it's celebrated like the 4th of July, right? I'm pretty sure it's a national holiday in Canada. Everyone has it off, and the entire country celebrates it. So fans are going to be on their side, obviously. It should be a packed house at the Rogers Center. Yes, Rogers Place is the hockey arena, I believe. Yeah, right. At the Rogers Center. I think it's the Rogers Center. And I think they're going to be able to scratch some runs across the board against Max Fried. So I'm seriously looking at a line like the Orioles had against Gausman or Fried. 6 innings, 7 hits, 3 runs. I mean, look at the Red Sox start. Fried gives up 2 hits on 6 hits in 7 innings. Again, I just think Toronto's going to be able to scrape a couple runs across the board, and I think it's going to be enough because I truly think Gausman's going to have a really good start. I think so. All right, the Jays won yesterday on Max Scherzer bump day. Scherzer, I mean, you're going to see you saw the MLB social pages post a million times Scherzer and Aaron Judge's 10-pitch at-bat that ultimately was won by Scherzer with a strikeout on a ball that was likely not a strike, but it's okay. Scherzer in that game yesterday goes 5 innings, 3 hits, 2 runs, 7 strikeouts. Again, Max is honestly showing some good stuff at this point of his career. I know only, 3 starts in to his Jays career. The Yankees lineup, they've been stagnant recently. They had they had the trouble in that one game with the A's. They weren't the hottest in the O's series. I don't know. I think the Jays are able to win this baseball game. Judge is great. We know that. Bellinger's been doing his thing. The rest of the lineup is kind of cold right now. Grisham's been all right, but then you look at, Giancarlo's not playing all that well. Ben Rice just been Volpe, obviously, has been well detailed, the struggles he's had this season. Escara and LeMahieu at the bottom of the lineup. And Jazz has just been Jazz has been better since the return. I'll give Jazz actually a lot of credit. When Yard yesterday, he's been pretty good. But I think the Jays are going to win this game, even with the injuries to Springer potentially and to Bo Bichette. I'm still taking Toronto to win the baseball game. I think they get it done here at home for Canada Day. They're big underdogs, and that's exactly why I like them too. Plus 140 for the Blue Jays to go out there and get it done. I'm taking Toronto to beat the New York Yankees and again win on Canada Day. Okay, maybe the Nationals will win on the 4th of July this year. Anyways, just, Blue Jays. Anyways, we've got the Nationals best bet of the day. I'm going CJ Abrams over 1.5 total bases. For as much as I would like to take Nationals money line today, Trevor Williams is pitching. But the Nationals love giving Trevor Williams run support. So legitimately, I don't think Nats money line is actually the worst bet today. I'm not going to do it because I think this is much more favorable for us. However, the odds obviously are a lot better if you want to go Nats money line against the Tigers today. Anyways, Trevor Williams is pitching against Jack Flaherty. Jack Flaherty has not been good recently, okay? In the month of June, Jack Flaherty is a 6.84 ERA. Now, leave it to the Nationals. Do not put anything on the board against the guy. And I understand the Nats are playing the best team in the American League. This is going to be a dangerous series for the Nats, obviously, who finally just won their first series in months, it feels like, against the Angels in Anaheim. Anyways, Jack Flaherty has had a really bad month. And it's really just his last 3 starts. He was really good against the 2 Chicago teams and the White Sox and the Cubs. Went 12 combined innings against those teams and only gave up 1 run in which he gave it up to the Chicago White Sox. His last 3 starts have been horrendous, though. Again, leave it to the Nationals to finally allow Flaherty to get going. However, these last 3 starts have been so bad against the Reds. 4 2/3 innings for Flaherty, 5 hits, 7 runs. Rays start 2 1/3, 6 hits, 8 runs. Last start against the A's, 6 innings, 5 hits, 3 runs, 4 walks. He just hasn't been good. Hell, look at that Red start. 5 walks for Flaherty. The Nats are back home for the first time in a while after their big struggles a couple weeks ago at home against the Marlins and the Rockies. They're back at Nats Park. They've got the AARP, sponsorship now in the sleeve. I like the Nats here. I really do. I like the Nationals to go out here and see a lot of success against Flaherty. Again, I don't know what's going to happen on the other side with Trevor Williams. That doesn't really concern me. Well, it does as a fan, but we have CJ Abrams today. CJ Abrams is playing like one of the best shortstops in all of baseball right now. I mean, that road trip that Abrams had was great, with the exception of the one game where Nick Pivetta was pitching and Abrams really just looked lost at the plate. He was great on the road trip. Against the Dodgers, 2 out of the 3 games against the Padres, and every game against the Angels. I mean, the Nats don't win that game on Sunday, likely if it's not for CJ Abrams. You got a little bit lucky with who was it? Kevin Newman missing a pop-up in the sun. But I mean, a big triple and extra innings for Abrams, of course. And that's what Abrams is going to have to do. If teams are going to, kind of try to pitch around James Wood, I would make the case maybe Abrams needs to be batting 3rd now. And we don't really have a leadoff guy. I'd argue this is going to sound crazy. Jacob Young low-key should be leading off. The way he's been playing right now, obviously that's going to be Dylan Cruz's role eventually. If teams continue to pitch around James Wood, I would argue just put Jacob Young in the 1, go Wood 2, and then go Abrams 3. Of course, when Cruz comes back, I don't care, he's batting 205 this season. That's Dylan Cruz's role. He's going to be the leadoff hitter for this team for a very long time. Abrams should slide into the 3 eventually, and it should give Wood more protection in the lineup. Anyways, Abrams has been the best hitter on this Nationals team in the last 2 weeks. Yes, Wood's been really good too, but Wood's just getting pitched around a lot. Abrams batting 290, man. He's been huge, and I really think he's able to get hits on Flaherty here. I think Abrams, I think he'll likely still be leading off. First pitch he sees, I think he puts one in the gap. I think Abrams is going to get this done with his first at bat of the game. I think the Nats are going to try to set the tone. I'm hoping Davey getting ejected in their last game, by the way, is going to change the season. I don't know if it's going to. But I do think Abrams is going to try to set the tone early against the guy in Flaherty who has really struggled recently. And I think the Nats are going to try to get off to a hot start. So I think that, again, has to do with CJ Abrams getting going. And also, the Nationals legitimately should have 4 All-Stars this season. They won't because, of course, 12 All-Star bids have to go to the Los Angeles Dodgers. Like, don't get me started. Max Muncy and Teoscar Hernandez and Andy Pages are All-Stars. Whatever. The thing is, though, the Nationals should really have 4. CJ Abrams this season, I'm going to say it, CJ Abrams, I think, is the best shortstop in the National League East. I think there's a case you can say CJ Abrams might be the best shortstop in the National League. That might be a hot take. Guys, Abrams is batting .290. He's been electric this season. He's having a great year. Defensively, sure, it leaves a lot to be desired. At the plate, Abrams might be the best hitting shortstop in baseball right now. Might be a hot take, it probably is, but he deserves to be an All-Star. Abrams has better numbers this year than he did last year, and he was an All-Star last year. Abrams batting .290, 12 home runs. He's been great. James Wood undoubtedly will be an All-Star. This is the biggest lock the Nats have to get to the All-Star game. Obviously, Wood is getting the big media attention now because of the 4 walks in the Angels game. He's the next Barry Bonds. Wood's batting .285, 22 home runs, 64 RBI. He is a surefire shoe-in for the All-Star game. He should be starting, but again, we have to give that to Teoscar Hernandez. Anyways, Mackenzie Gore should also be an All-Star. I actually think Gore is probably least likely. I don't know. He's got a 3 ERA this season. He leads the National League in strikeouts. You would think he's an All-Star, but I don't know. Again, 3 ERA, 129 strikeouts. The problem with Gore is, and these are where the baseball old heads are going to come into play, he's got a 3-8 record. But again, he leads the NL in strikeouts, and he's got a 3 ERA. And lastly, Kyle Finnegan should be an All-Star too. 5th in all of baseball in saves, 2.61 ERA, goes 3 shutout innings a couple days ago against the Angels to win the game for the Nats. He's got a 1.1 whip. This is an All-Star. He's better numbers this year than he did last year, and he was an All-Star last year. Kyle Finnegan should be an All-Star too. He's actually one of the best closers in baseball. So when you really think about this too, the Nats really have 4 deserving All-Stars, and yet we're 13 games under 500. How does this make sense? 14 games under 500. How does this make sense? Legitimately, we have 4 All-Star caliber guys on our team, and yet we're nowhere near where we were last year. We were like 2 under at this point last year. Oh my goodness, it's a joke. It's a joke. It's a joke. It's a joke. Wow. It's just... whatever. Anyways, the Nats should have 4 All-Stars, and CJ Abrams is that guy, and he's going to go over his line today. So anyways, Abrams over 1.5 total bases. Let's keep it moving. Third best bet of the video, our Nerfy of the day. By the way, yesterday, an all-right day. Could have been better, don't get me wrong. But a 3-2 day, so a positive day. The Nerfy hit, by the way, on a great line for us. Even with Bryce Harper's return, we were all right in Philly. Today's Nerfy comes at Citi Field. Mets Brewers. I don't trust the lineups at all. I don't. That's why I'm going the Nerfy here, okay? I got 2 pitchers that I think are good enough, okay? And actually, no, I got 2 pitchers that I think are really good. I think Freddie Peralta is better than Clay Holmes. Let me get that out the way right now. But there are 2 pitchers in this game that should be able to get outs. The Mets are god-awful, atrocious to the plate right now, okay? They went to Pittsburgh and they couldn't score. And I get it, the Pirates, they won yesterday against the Cardinals. I'll give them credit. But the Mets scored, 4 runs in 27 innings against the Pirates? They're not scoring in the first inning off Freddie Peralta. I'll tell you how this is going to go. Francisco Lindor is going to ground out. Brandon Nimmo is going to fly out into right field. And then Juan Soto is going to roll over or strike out, one of the 2. He'll probably just roll over to second base. So Freddie Peralta will get the 3 outs in the bottom half of the first inning. In the top half of the first, Clay Holmes gets the Brewers. Okay. I still don't like the Brewers offense that much. Again, Milwaukee... what can I comp them to? They are coming off a loss to the Rockies, but I mean, hey, happens to the best of us, right? Trust me. I guess the Brewers to me are kind of just like the Rays, kind of. It's like, and the Rays are better than the Brewers, though. I firmly believe that. But here, just hear me out. Okay, every year it's like, oh, the Rays are back, and same with the Brewers. They're just always there. They're not even like these like I know the guards are 2 under at this point now, and they're playing god-awful baseball right now. But even like, you get why Cleveland's a playoff team every year. Okay, they've got talent. They got J-Ram. Their pitching's always good enough. Stephen Kwan's always in the lineup. I know they're probably not going to get back to it this year, and really, the American League Central is a one-horse race at this point. But you get why Cleveland's been in the playoffs so many years. And I guess with Tampa too, right? Their bullpen's great and whatnot, and they just have guys who fill in. The Brewers right now, to me, is just like, how is this team doing so well? They sell every year at the deadline. They never re-sign their players. Same with the Rays, but they're just always there. I mean, I got to give them credit. I'm not sold on the Brewers lineup right now. I mean, what is there to be scared about honestly, than Sal Frelick at the top of the lineup? Yes, Frelick does scare me a little bit, batting 300. Churio, not moved right now. Yelich not having his best year. I know he went yard in the last game against the Rockies. And then Contreras, I'm okay with that. I really am. I think Clay Holmes is going to go out here and get us the outs. I know Holmes has been kind of up and down recently. Moore has been kind of The thing with Holmes is, and this is expected out of a former reliever, obviously, for the Yankees last season, he's just not going to go deep in games. But in the limited innings that he's going to pitch, he's usually going to do well. I mean, a standard Clay Holmes start recently has been 5 innings, 1 run. Puts his team in a pretty good position to win the baseball game. Obviously, again, from there, you need the bullpen to come through to collect the victory for Clay Holmes. However, in the limited innings that he pitches, the 5 to 6 innings that he goes, he's probably not going to give up more than 1 to 2 runs. So you just need him to get past that first. I think he's able to get it done. So I look at this game, Citi Field. It is what it is. It's not. I wouldn't call it a hitter's park, nor would I call it a pitcher's park. It's a pitcher's park to deep center, corners. I think we were able to get 6 outs today with the Mets and the Brewers. Freddie Peralta and Clay Holmes are good enough pitchers for me. And I look at these 2 lineups and I'm just not moved. The Mets, they're good. They have talent. Do they move anybody right now because of what they just did in Pittsburgh? No. Okay. The Mets are not a playoff team. No one's telling me otherwise. I know the Phillies' window's almost over, but no, the Phillies are still better than New York. And by the way, like, is Bryce Harper about to go back on the IR? I did not like what Harper was saying before the game. It just did not sound good. He said basically his injury just hasn't healed at all, but he's been out for 2 weeks, so he's just going to play anyway. I hate it. I hate it. As a fan of Bryce Harper, I hate it. I really do. Because I want nothing but the best for Bryce Harper, legitimately. I don't know. I think the nerf he hits today, the Mets are just not very good. The Phillies are better. Okay. Let's move on to our 4th best bet of the video. Our best player prop of the day, Joe Adell. Yeah, I know. This might come out of left field. It's random. I get it. After watching Joe Adell for an entire weekend, I will tell you this. Joe Adell right now is one of the best hitters in baseball. This month. I know we're getting into July, and maybe he doesn't have his June superpowers anymore. I don't think it's being really talked about how much better of a hitter Joe Adell is now. I mean, didn't this guy hit 11 home runs in the month of June? I'm pretty sure that's a stat, right? Yeah, he had 11 home runs in the month of June. What? Joe Adell, the same guy who, people had given up on him. He was just a 4A player, never able to make it in the majors. Obviously, former, first round pick or whatnot. Was he the number 1 overall pick? I don't know if he was he number 1? I know was he number 1? He was a first round pick. I remember he was always number 1 on the prospect rankings, and he was just considered a bust. Well, look at him now. He was the 10th overall pick, but still, look at him now, right? Joe Adell has solidified himself as an everyday starter in the bigs now, and he's more than that now. I'm not telling you Joe Adell's an all-star this season. I don't even know if he's going to ever reach that all-star potential, or at least what the people thought Joe Adell was going to be. I am going to tell you, though, Joe Adell is a starter in the major leagues for the rest of his career. He's 26, and maybe, and this is just a lesson for everyone to learn. I think it takes time for players to develop sometimes. Now, I wish I had that same approach about Elijah Green. Now, the difference between Elijah Green and Joe Adell is at least Joe Adell, got to AAA, and then he, just kind of shit the bed once he got there. Elijah Green can't get out of high A Wilmington. Anyways, I watched Joe Adell play this entire weekend, and I've been watching what he's been doing in June. He hits the ball extremely hard. He comes up with clutch hits, and he's gone over this line in his last 4 games. And he's well cleared this line in a couple of those. Joe Adell's a home run machine right now. I understand he's on the road in Atlanta, and he's been a much better hitter at Angel Stadium, with the power at least, but he's still making contact, and he's still putting the ball in play. And I look at the matchup today, and I looked at the odds, and I was surprised because I saw the total bases props today for the Angels. And I saw, okay, Mike Trout's at like plus 100. Zach Neto's like minus 105. I would not touch Zach Neto, minus 105, by the way. Coming off an injury, he's been pinch hitting all weekend. I assume he's going to start this week now, but I wouldn't touch that at all. I'm just going to be honest. So I saw those guys, and I was like, all right, and Taylor Ward's next, like, plus 120, and then's Joe Adell. I was like, Nolan Shawnow was in there, too, and then Adell. So Adell, the 5th highest odds to go over 1.5 total bases. Very surprised at that, guys. Adell's hitting the baseball really well. He's crushing it now. Starting for the Braves today is Didier Fuentes, who is a 20-year-old out of Colombia, 10.8 ERA. He's had 2 starts this season against the Marlins and against the Mets, both on the road. Neither of those went well for him. Against the Marlins, 5 innings, 6 hits, 4 runs. Mets start, my goodness, 3 1/3, 8 hits, 6 runs. So the Braves have kind of waved the white flag a little bit when Fuentes has pitched so far this season. Again, he's very young, but he's been hammered so far. And sure, it's his first start at Truist Park in Atlanta and at home. I'm going to side here with Joe Adell to get over 1.5 total bases. Again, primarily we are kind of just hoping for the Adell home run, but 2 singles can do it. Hell, he did that in the last 2 games that he played on Saturday and Sunday against the Washington Nationals. There's the potential for a double. I'll be honest, if Adell's going to hit an extra base knock, it's likely going to be a home run, not a double, but the potential is there. And Joe Adell, again, he is just crushing the baseball right now. This guy's OPS is 815. He's got a 245 average. Again, is that big stuff? OPS is looking good. 245 average is what it is. But guys, I'm telling you, like, Adell's on a heater right now. He is on an absolute heater. Batted 293 in the month of June, compared to batting 239 in the month of May and 175 in the month of April. Yeah, Joe Adell's legit now, and it took him like 4 years, but I think he's finally figured it out. And honestly, I'm really happy for the guy. Guys, he hit 28 home runs last year in 130 games. He's 2 home runs away this season from already tying that. And we're not even halfway into the season. I mean, it's great, legitimately. Joe Adell is going to be a 30 home run guy in the MLB this year. Knock on wood, but he's going to be. You know? WAR last year was 1. Or WAR this year is 1 already. Man, I mean, I got to give the guy a lot of credit. I think it's good for the game that Joe Adell's playing good baseball. And I'm really happy for the guy. I think Adell goes over 1.5 total bases today. Again, he's hit this in his last 4 games, and it's not like he's facing some juggernaut on the mound today for the Braves. It's Didier Fuentes. Give me Joe Adell in the over 1.5 total bases. Our final best bet of the video. We move now to our last money line of the day. I'm going Diamondbacks money line again. So yesterday we hit this at plus money. I know the Royals didn't come through for us because the Royals kind of suck at baseball, so it is what it is. Today I'm just going D-backs money line minus 135. They are favorites to win this one for good reason. Pitching matchup, Zach Gallen and Hayden Birdsong. Birdsong pitching, that means he'll probably give you 4 or 5, and then you got to go back to the bullpen. Zach Gallen, I understand, has not been good this season. I completely get that. Gallen's ERA in the month of June was 6.23. His last 2 starts were really bad. Even though the Diamondbacks beat the Rockies, he goes 5 innings, 10 hits, 7 runs. I get that's bad. His last start against the White Sox, it was bad. 5 1/3, 8 hits, 5 runs. Guys, and I said this yesterday, I'm going to say it again. I don't really think it matters who's pitching for the Diamondbacks. The Giants can't hit the ball right now. They're just a bad offensive team. They are. I mean, I watched that full game yesterday. The Giants had 1 inning where they threatened, 2 innings, where they threatened the D-backs. It was the 8th. That was the cost. Yeah, it was the 8th inning where the fan for Arizona for the 4th time in 4 seasons, the same fan reached over and took a potential robbery away from Tim Tawa. I don't think Tawa would have caught the ball, but anyways, they accurately ruled it a double, and that's the right call there. But anyways, Cost hits a double, and that's really the only other time that the Giants really threatened the game was in the top of the 8th, other than when they scored in the top of the 7th with that Tyler Fitzgerald double. Again, the Giants had 2 innings yesterday where they really threatened the D-backs. I saw a stat today that I don't remember the exact numbers, but I'll paraphrase this for you. The Giants are just a better baseball team when Matt Chapman's in the field. Not just with the defensive presence, but also with the bat too. I mean, Chapman is just another middle of the order guy. He brings a lot of power. He's going to get on base. He causes problems for opposition. The Giants are nowhere near the same team without Matt Chapman on the field. Chapman's obviously not back still for this Arizona series. The D-backs right now, I think, are better than the Giants, and I think matchup-wise, I said this yesterday again, I was like, all right, Logan Webb's pitching for the Giants. Well, they lost last time Logan Webb was pitching when they faced off against the Miami Marlins, and I looked at yesterday's matchup and said, okay, I don't care, Ryan Nelson's on the mound. The Giants won't be able to score. I said we needed 2 runs out of the D-backs to beat Logan Webb, And that's what happened. They got into the late stage of the game, and they found ways to score against Webb late. We actually gave up 3 runs, and they scored one in the 8th off of submariner Tyler Rogers. Arizona just did enough to win. Today they get a bullpen game with Hayden Birdsong. I don't care who's pitching for the Giants because here's the thing. It's tough to pitch against the Arizona Diamondbacks. It just is. I don't care. They're really falling off. They've fallen off this season. They're 42-42. Don't give a damn. This is an incredibly hard team to pitch against, even without Corbin Carroll in the lineup. Perdomo, Marte, Smith, Suarez, Gurriel. Alek Thomas yesterday went 3 for 3. There are tough guys to pitch to in this lineup. And sure, Herrera, their catcher in the 9 spots, kind of just an automatic sack bunt every single time. Still, it is a tough lineup to pitch to. Eugenio Suarez yesterday hit his 26th home run of the season for the Arizona Diamondbacks. Again, that is going to be a crazy trade candidate for somebody. Same with Josh Naylor. Same with potentially Pavin Smith. Maybe, I don't think anyone's trading for Lourdes. But still, those are guys who are going to hit the market at the trade deadline. And they're going to be huge pieces for championship contending squads. And look at what Hayden Birdsong has done recently. My goodness, he's been bad. Birdsong and Gallen have both been horrible. Birdsong's got a 6.5 ERA so far, 6.4 ERA in the month of June. Last 2 starts been so bad. Red Sox, 4 1/3, 7 hits, 5 runs. Marlins, 4 innings, 4 hits, 7 runs. That was a game where the Marlins blew them out 12-5. Same game where, oh God, who was it? It was it Dane Myers broke his bat over his leg for no reason. Anyways, yeah, the D-backs are winning this game. Expect a shootout, but here's the thing. Well, I don't know. I know Arizona can score, and it really doesn't matter who the Arizona faces off against, but it really goes to our favor when it's a guy like Birdsong, who hasn't pitched well recently. And by the way, the Giants are struggling a lot, just record-wise. Zach Gallen, I get he's not been good. And Gallen, who I believe is on a contract year this year, who will be a trade candidate, definitely I think will go somewhere at the deadline because someone's going to try to fix Gallen before the playoffs. And just get him out that that hitter-friendly environment in Arizona. He's still got some of the stuff. And I look at the way the Giants are playing. This is not a team that's hitting the ball well at all right now. I think Gallen's able to do all right tonight. I really believe that. What are the Giants? Guys, Devers went 0 for 4 yesterday with 4 strikeouts. He's batting 200 as a Giant so far this year. Jung Ho Lee's cooled down so much. He's batting 240. There's a reason Jung Ho Lee's batting in the 6th spot now. I mean, this just isn't a good baseball team. Elliot Ramos is, still a good player, but he went 0 for 4 yesterday with 3 Ks. Adames scammed the Giants. It's crazy. Dom Smith might be this team's best hitter right now. Not power-wise, but it's getting on base. Yeah, it might be Dom Smith. Koss is hitting pretty well right now, too. But, oh, man. Their bullpen's still elite. I'll give them that. Randy Rodriguez is great, obviously. They got the guys in the bullpen. They got Walker, who will sometimes be all right. Doval. Even Tyler Rogers with his stupid submarine. They'll give teams problems. Birdsong's going to be a problem starting, and they can't hit the ball. Guys, they start Patrick Bailey every day. Yesterday, Daniel Johnson started, who bats 150. I don't know how half these guys have jobs, man. They can't hit the ball. And I don't care Gallen's been bad. They're not going to hit the ball today either. Final score prediction, 9-3. The Giants score maybe 3 off of Gallen, maybe 2 off of Gallen. But the D-backs score like 5 off of Birdsong, and it just goes downhill for the Giants. Give me Arizona money line here for the 2nd consecutive day. Line's not as good, obviously, now, but minus 135 for Arizona. Sign me up. So, folks, thank you all for watching our MLB Best Bets here for July 1st. If you haven't yet, though, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below for more. Make sure to leave a like if you did enjoy the video. Make sure to comment if you do disagree with any of the picks. Folks, thank you all for watching, and Mamba forever.